Carti dropped a song last night only on Instagram, so I reacted to it.
Right.
It got like 29K views in like a couple hours real quick.
Dang.
And then yeah, they're eating that up.
Yeah.
But it hasn't gotten copyrighted.
So
yet.
he's really gonna drop an album, you think?
Looks like it. I'm at the point where like I'm 27, you know. I'll be happy if he drops. Don't get me wrong, but like I'm not sitting here like, oh, I need it to drop. Like I get DMs where people are getting crazy, like coming up with hella theories. I'm like, dude.
No, that's cool though. It's cool to see some fandom though, for real.
No, like he's definitely like, as much as he does have a really strong fan base that like over exaggerates things, like that's one of the hardest things to actually do.
Yeah.
Like, who else do you see that from? Especially in the newer...
In rap, I mean, that type of fan base, like, pretty much doesn't exist anymore. I mean, I feel like even Travis Scott's kind of dissipated. You're finally going to do away with that?
I wasn't sure if you could see my mouth moving.
You might have just saved the podcast right there.
Yeah, no, it's not.
That now they're going to watch. They're like, I can't wait for Bob to take off that stupid fucking mustache.
So Travis Scott...
What do you think of the bust down real quick? This shit's hard, bro.
Where'd you get that?
Like an Instagram ad? This shit was like $40. This shit's hard though, right?
I guess, yeah.
This shit's hard.
I actually don't even like my watch.
Yeah, bro, fuck this. This is hard. Let's start. I'm gonna get every color. Looks like a McDonald's toy.
I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to be offensive.
Nah, that's the point. This shit looks hard.
Okay.
Accessible to everyone.
I don't know. I said something before when we were eating at your the restaurant, and your girl said, "You guys met on an app."
Yeah.
So then Quay was talking about it, like something of why he doesn't want to do it, and then I was like, because they might think like you're desperate or something, and I was like, oh fuck, I just called y'all desperate for using the app, but that's not how I meant it.
Oh, I don't think we took it that way.
No, I know, but like still, I was just like, I just met y'all guys the first time in person. I just said some crazy shit. I don't want to sit here and be like, yo, your watch is whack, bro. It looks like you're wearing a McDonald's watch.
Yeah, bro, you could roast it. It's all good.
No, I mean, it's cool. I'm just not even a fashion kind of guy. I'll just throw on all black.
Bro, blood thinky opium.
Archon just interviewed Opium Baby. It's crazy that literally his crew is famous.
That's
where does that come from?
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool. That's like, man, that's what I wish there was more of that. So like, I don't hate on that type of fandom because I think that, yeah, bro, I think that's so cool. That's like something that's missing, you know? But I think because of social media and how forward everybody is, like whether you're super famous or especially super famous, people are so unapologetically just showing their lives on social media. It removes that fame and that what's the word? Like the recluseness. What's that? I can't think of it.
It breaks like the fourth wall almost.
Yeah, it's like we know what the inside of Drake's house looks like. We shouldn't know that. You know what I mean? Like when they were doing the Michael Jackson and Drake comparison, they used to be like, people would cry and faint when they met Michael Jackson. And it's like, yeah, because all they knew of Michael Jackson was like they had a poster on their wall or they saw a picture in the magazine like once every 4 years. And then when they were 18, they finally could go to a concert. And it's like, he's this larger than life figure. Now you see
on top of like a church.
Yeah, and now you see Drake just like laying in his bed doing a podcast. Like, why do I know what Drake's bed looks like? You know, it just kind of, it removes that
is that sort of good or bad?
So it depends on the way you look at it. Like, if you're kind of a pop culture nerd, which I feel like I kind of lean on that, like I like the fandom a little bit. I understand as a grown man now that at some point it starts to be like I know how to separate it.
It becomes like obsessive.
Yeah, like if you could be, and it's like when your feelings start getting hurt and you know somebody that you don't know does something,
calling your favorite artist music trash.
Yeah, and then you feel personally affected. That's when it's like, okay, you might be too invested. But in another way, you could argue that like fame is kind of poisonous and nobody really deserves fame or should have it. So we shouldn't put them up on this crazy pedestal because at the end of the day, they're just people. So it just depends the way you look at it.
Right, but I feel like there is a sense of power in being able to manipulate people's minds.
Well, yeah. Which the more famous...
Yeah, the more power.
Yeah.
So do you believe in this selling soul?
I think
concept?
Metaphorically, yeah.
About just giving up creative control.
Or just giving up, like...
morals and beliefs.
Yeah, more. I feel like it's more on the moral thing. It's not even creative. Because, like, I gave up creative control to what... Like, if it was up to me, I mean, my YouTube, I don't know that it would be as, like, optimized. It might have just been, like, random. Imagine if you could make the same amount of money or, like, a certain amount on, like, anything you wanted to post. You would just be like, word,
Yeah.
You might have vlogged this trip out here to OKC, you know? Because you're like, word, it'll be worth the effort, right?
Right. I agree.
But
you've got to cater to the algorithm / audience.
It's like, it sucks to always bring up money, but it truly, when at a certain age, it just kind of gets to the point where, like, you can only do so much for your own personal well-being and creativity. Eventually, you got to consider the money.
I've talked about this before with, again, Arshawn, where I think the lines blur too as a creator when, like, you get a good feeling or you get a dopamine hit when you get views.
Yeah.
So it almost makes your mind believe when you're doing something for the audience / algorithm that you're doing it for yourself too. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like the things that weren't your interest before, just because they're getting views, are your interests.
That's facts. That's 100%.
I think about that all the time. I'm like,
yeah.
Like, what am I doing? Am I really a human being now, or am I just getting manipulated by these algorithms?
Yeah, no, there's definitely a lot of that. I mean, that is a funny thing that you mentioned with, like, the success, and then that becomes your interest. Like, you know, a lot of people just sort of know me as a music guy. And when I started YouTube, you know, that was just one of my interests. It's not like it was my whole life. But then it was the thing that was working. So I just kept going with it.
And it became your life.
Online, it became my life. So then people, like, some people would have all these expectations of me. So